The geometry of the soul. From sacred patterns to quantum entanglement, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sufi essence. From the majestic spirals of a galaxy to the intricate veins of a leaf, from the rhythmic orbits of planets to the subatomic dance of particles, the universe speaks a hidden language. It is a language of patterns, of symmetry, and of order. For centuries, mystics and artists have intuited this language, seeing it as the very handwriting of God. In Islamic tradition, sacred language is expressed through the mesmerizing beauty of geometric art and architecture, a visual representation of divine unity and order. But what if this is more than just art? And what if this is a scientific reality? Today, we will embark on a revolutionary journey that bridges the spiritual art of sacred geometry with the mind-bending discoveries of modern physics. We will explore how the Sufi concepts of unity and interconnectedness are echoed in the science of quantum entanglement. We will discover that the geometry we see in the cosmos is the same geometry that is woven into the fabric of our own souls. This is a lecture on how to read the hidden language of the universe, and in doing so, to read the very nature of Allah and to find our own place within His perfect design. This is a journey into the geometry of the soul. Part 1, the first principle, unity in form. To understand the geometry of the soul, we must begin with the first principle of Islamic faith, Tawhid, or the absolute oneness of God. All of creation, from the smallest atom to the grandest cosmos, proceeds from this single unified point of existence. In sacred geometry, this truth is represented by the very first mark, the point. From the point, the circle is born, representing the boundless and infinite nature of Allah. All geometric shapes are derived from this single point, and all return to it, symbolizing the origin and return of all things to the One. This is the metaphysical foundation of sacred geometry. It is not an arbitrary system of shapes and lines, but a deliberate and spiritual language. The circle, the square, the triangle, and the octagon are not merely forms. They are reflections of divine attributes. The circle represents Allah's endless perfection. The square represents the four elements and the material world. The triangle represents the soul's journey from the many to the one. Every intricate pattern we see in Islamic art, from the tiles of a mosque to the pages of a Quranic manuscript, is a visual symphony of Tawhid. The Sufi masters taught that our soul is like a point within this grand geometry. The purpose of our lives is to realize our connection to the circle, to realize our origin in the one, the ego, or nafs. It's what makes us believe we are a separate point, disconnected from the divine. The spiritual journey, therefore, is the process of reconnecting our point to the circle, of seeing the unity behind the apparent diversity. This is the first and most crucial step in understanding the geometry of the soul. Part 2. The sacred patterns of the cosmos. The patterns we find in Islamic art are not random, but are derived from a deep spiritual understanding of the universe. The eight-pointed star, for example, is a common motif. This pattern represents the 8 bearers of the throne of Allah, and also symbolizes the unfolding of the divine order from the single point of creation. It is a meditation on the perfection of the cosmic order. The interlocking rosettes and intricate star patterns are an attempt by the human artist to capture a glimpse of the infinite, boundless nature of God. This sacred geometry is the language of the cosmos itself. The spirals of the Milky Way, the hexagons in a honeycomb, the branching of a tree, these are all natural expressions of the same underlying principles of divine order. The famous Fibonacci sequence, where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, ... closing parenthesis, is not just a mathematical curiosity. It is a fundamental pattern found everywhere in nature, from the petals of a flower to the spiral of a snail shell. This suggests a unified, intelligent design at the heart of creation. The Sufi seeker, through contemplation, learns to see these patterns not as mere coincidence, but as signs from Allah. They see the divine geometry in a single leaf, and the divine order in the turning of the seasons. They realize that the inner world of the soul and the outer world of the cosmos are governed by the same sacred laws. The sacred geometry of Islamic art is a map of this cosmic reality, a beautiful and intricate reminder that we are all part of a single, unified, and divine tapestry. Part 3. The science of sacred geometry. Now, let us turn to the scientific perspective. For centuries, scientists have been uncovering the physical laws that govern the universe. And what they have found is a reality built on elegant, mathematical principles. From the perfect ratios of the golden mean to the symmetrical beauty of a crystal. Science has confirmed that the universe is indeed structured on a foundation of geometry. The fractal geometry of coastlines, snowflakes, and even human lungs shows that complex, self-similar patterns repeat at different scales. This echoes the metaphysical idea that the microcosm reflects the macrocosm, that the same divine laws that govern the entire universe are also present in the smallest particle. The fractal nature of reality is a scientific testament to the unity of creation. The intricate detail of a single snowflake is not an anomaly. It is a profound revelation of the divine order that is present everywhere. Even at the level of our genetic code, science is discovering a beautiful geometry. The DNA double helix is a perfect example of a sacred pattern that contains the blueprint for all life. This is the ultimate biological sacred geometry, the very code of life built on an elegant, symmetrical structure. Science, in its quest to understand the physical world, has become an unwitting partner in revealing the divine signature in all things. The laws of nature are the scientific expression of the metaphysical principles that the Sufis have always known. Part 4. The quantum connection. Entanglement and interconnectedness. This journey into the geometry of the soul takes us to the most bizarre and mind-bending field of all, quantum physics. Here, the idea of separateness begins to break down entirely. One of the most famous and baffling phenomena in quantum mechanics is entanglement. This is a state where two particles, once they have interacted, remain connected in a way that defies classical physics. If you measure the state of one particle, the other particle, no matter how far away it is, instantly takes on a corresponding state. Albert Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance because it seemed to violate the speed of light. Quantum entanglement offers a powerful and profound scientific metaphor for the Sufi concept of wadada wujud, or the unity of being. If all of creation is a manifestation of the One, then all of creation must be fundamentally interconnected, not just spiritually, but physically. The spiritual bond between our hearts, the connection between a lover and a beloved, the silent prayers of a mother for her child, these are not just emotional or spiritual phenomena. They are, in a profound way, a living manifestation of quantum entanglement. We are all entangled with each other, with the universe, and with our Creator. This scientific revelation validates the Sufi teaching that we are all part of a single cosmic web. When one person suffers, we all suffer. When one person finds peace, it has a ripple effect on the entire cosmos. Our actions, our prayers, and our intentions are not isolated events. They are vibrations that resonate through the entangled field of reality. The journey to find Allah within is therefore not a journey of isolation, but a journey of realizing this profound and sacred interconnectedness. Part 5. The geometry of the soul. The ultimate goal of this journey is to bring the outer geometry of the cosmos back into the inner world of the soul. The human being, in Sufi thought, is a microcosm of the macrocosm. The same sacred patterns that are found in the universe are also found within our own hearts. Our purpose is to discover this inner geometry and to live a life that reflects its divine perfection. The soul, or Ra, is like a central point of light. The ego, or nafs, builds an imperfect, chaotic geometry around it, a geometry of fear, anger, and attachment. The spiritual path is the process of purifying this inner world, of removing the imperfections and polishing the mirror of the heart so that it can perfectly reflect the divine. The practices of remembrance dhikr, meditation, muraqabah, and contemplation, tafakkur, are the tools for this inner work. Through these practices, we dismantle the chaotic geometry of the ego and rebuild a new geometry of love, compassion, and peace. The journey to find Allah within is the journey of discovering that the geometry of our soul is not random, but a reflection of the divine. It is the realization that we are not just a separate and chaotic collection of atoms. We are a perfectly ordered and beautifully designed part of the divine tapestry. The geometry of the soul is a reminder of our true nature, that we were created from a single point of light, and our destiny is to return to that light. Part 6, From Theory to Practice, Living a Geometrical Life. So, how do we live a life that reflects this sacred geometry? It begins with a conscious effort to see the patterns of the divine in our daily lives. When we wake up in the morning, we can begin with gratitude, acknowledging the perfect order of the day. When we look at a flower, we can see the Fibonacci sequence and remember that the same divine law is at work in our own lives. When we interact with another person, we can remember that we are all entangled, and that our words and actions have a ripple effect on the entire cosmos. The Sufi art of living is the art of bringing this awareness into every moment. It is a life of intention, of purpose, and of beauty. It is the practice of aligning our inner world with the outer world. A life lived in this way is a prayer in itself, a constant act of remembrance of Allah. The spiritual path is not a flight from the world. It is a journey to see the world as it truly is, a magnificent and perfect expression of the divine. Part 7. Conclusion. The universe is not a random collection of matter, and the soul is not a chaotic collection of thoughts and emotions. Both are built on a foundation of sacred geometry, a language of patterns and unity that points to a single divine source. We have traveled from the sacred patterns of Islamic art to the strange world of quantum entanglement, and we have found that the same principles of interconnectedness and unity are present in both. In this lecture, we have explored the first principle of Tawhid as the source of all geometry, the sacred patterns of the cosmos and their reflection in our own lives, the scientific validation of sacred geometry in nature and DNA, the profound metaphor of quantum entanglement as a reflection of spiritual interconnectedness, the geometry of the soul as the key to our true divine nature, and finally, the practical steps to live a life that reflects this divine order. The journey of the soul is a journey to find the beautiful, perfect geometry that lies within us and all around us. May Allah grant us the eyes to see this sacred language and the hearts to live by its perfect rhythm. Watch, reflect, and share. Subscribe to our channel for more beneficial content.